Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. Today we have a few news stories to get through, so let's jump right into it with some news on the GTX 1080 Founders Edition, which since the card has come out, many users have reported having issues with the fans ramping up on them, ramping up and down from around 2,000 to 3,000 RPMs if they are using the stock fan curve. Thankfully, I haven't had any of these issues as I've been using a custom fan curve since the beginning, and I would advise most people if they are using the a graphic card in general, but the Founders Edition specifically, or reference cards, to go ahead and set up a custom fan curve, because a lot of people that were reporting things with like thermal throttling because of temperatures, because the card was maxing out at 83 degrees and then they weren't getting the boost or the overclock that they had wanted, could be resolved just by setting a custom fan curve in there that isn't going to be too damaging on your ears. I like to keep it at about a 1-to-1 once I get over like 50, 60 degrees Celsius, so that it's like 70 degrees Celsius matched to 70% fan speed. That's the math that I try to go with usually, and it works out pretty well for me. It doesn't really impact my gaming enjoyment. And I talked about all of this in my review of the 1080, which I'll link to down in the description below if you did miss that. But it looks like Nvidia is going to be addressing this. Manuel Guzman from the Nvidia GeForce driver team came forward a few days ago and said that they are testing a driver fix to address the random spin up down fan issue. And then the day after, on June 2nd, he said the driver fix so far has passed internal testing. Fix will be part of our next driver release. So it looks like pretty soon we should expect a driver coming from Nvidia GeForce, which will address the stock fan speeds and the ramping up and ramping down of those speeds. So very good to see that they are staying on top of this. And I'm sure Founders Edition card owners will be pleased to see that. Following up after that, we have the GTX 1070 onboard GPU, along with an LGA 1151 socket on a B150 chipset motherboard. So this is pretty interesting to see. We had some rumors recently talking about possibly getting rid of the M series of GPUs in things like laptops and AIOs. Previously, we'd see things like 980Ms, 970Ms, and we had started to see things like full-size desktop 980s here in the last generation. But it looks like now maybe like the 1080 and the 1070 possibly, we could just be seeing full-size desktop GPUs, being that they did have the node shrink, more power efficiency there. It would seem plausible that they could be doing this. So we already have seen now here, a 1070 on a full motherboard here with an 1151 socket. It's a B150, so I'm having to assume this is probably going to be for an AIO or a laptop possibly. We could see 2 slots here, it looks like, for some laptop memory. So I'm assuming this is not going to be for a full desktop PC, but you never know. But yeah, let me know what you think about this down in the comments below, getting rid of M-series GPUs. It feels like it's kind of been going in this direction for some time. I remember back when I was at that Acer event in New York a few months ago, they were showing off their new cooling for full desktop 980s that didn't involve like a water block or anything crazy on the back of the laptop like Asus showed off. So it seems like this is a pretty good possibility this could be happening, and now that we got this picture here coming in of the colorful motherboard, it seems like it is extremely likely. So cool to see. Last news topic we have here is on Superhot, which has announced that they are bringing support for VR, but exclusively to the Oculus Rift, at least for now. They said that they are going to be working on bringing VR support to the game, which sounds like it could be really cool, and things like motion tracking, which would actually make time in the game only move when the player actually moved their physical body in the real world, which, if you're familiar with Superhot, that's basically the gameplay mechanic. Whenever you move in the game, that is when time moves, and it's a very cool game. So seeing that, being able to interact with the physical world would be really interesting to see how accurate that could be with your movement. But it annoys me a little bit that this is coming exclusively to the Oculus Rift for now, because, with the Vive almost seems like a more complete unit at this point, having the full control scheme. I mean, we won't be seeing this until probably later this year. But still, the exclusivity on PC peripherals is something that I feared was going to happen with these headsets, and we already have seen it with Eve Valkyrie that has a timed exclusivity there on Oculus Rift. So I don't want to see that happening here, but it looks like it is already going that way, and it's very disappointing. You guys let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. They even talked here about playing around with holophonic type sounds in Superhot, which is it's kind of like ASMR. Like if you ever heard seen those videos where people play with keyboards and weird things that it makes sounds, and they really enjoy sound. Holophonic is kind of like that, where you have complete directional audio around you, binaural type stuff, I guess. I'm sure there's some like audiophile that's going to tell me I'm completely wrong, and like binaural and holophonic are completely different things in the comments below. And if I offended your ears, I'm sorry. That's just my peasant audiophile understanding of holophonic sound. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here before I say anything worse about the audiophile community to make them want to hate me and attack me and come do bad things to me. So yeah, I probably should just stop talking now. Okay, I'm going to go. I'll catch you guys next time. Ta-ra. I like audio. Sound is good. Sound is good. Sound is life. Sound. Audio. ASMR.